Picture this. A simple staircase in your home could predict whether you'll be independent at 80 or struggling with daily tasks. Sounds dramatic, right? But here's what shocked researchers at the University of Sao Paulo when they tracked over 2,000 adults for 12 years. Those who couldn't climb a flight of stairs without stopping had a 300% higher risk of serious health complications within the next decade. That's triple the risk just from one simple movement pattern. Your legs aren't just for walking. They're actually a window into your overall health status, cardiovascular fitness, and longevity potential. The strength in your lower body directly correlates with heart health, bone density, balance, and even cognitive function as you age. Think of your legs as the engine of your body. When that engine starts losing power, everything else begins to struggle. And the best part, you can test all of this right now without any fancy equipment or gym membership. We're about to walk you through 5 critical checks that reveal exactly where your leg strength stands. But here's the kicker. The number one check we're saving for last has been shown in recent studies to predict mortality risk with 85% accuracy. That's more accurate than many standard medical screenings, and it takes less than 30 seconds to perform. You can find all research and medical studies in the description below if you'd like to dive deeper after watching. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now, let's get started. Number 5. The ankle flexibility and balance test. Stand barefoot next to a sturdy chair or counter that you can hold onto if needed. Lift your right foot off the ground and balance on your left leg for 30 seconds. Then switch sides. Sounds easy enough, but researchers at the Mayo Clinic found that adults over 60 who couldn't hold this position for at least 20 seconds on each side had significantly weaker leg muscles and compromised joint stability. The connection runs deeper than you might think. Your ankles contain dozens of small stabilizing muscles that work constantly to keep you upright. When these weaken, your larger leg muscles have to compensate, creating an inefficient movement pattern that accelerates muscle loss. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine tracked 1,700 participants and found that those with poor single-leg balance had 2.5 times higher fall risk within 3 years. Falls aren't just minor inconveniences for seniors. They're life-changing events that often mark the beginning of a downward spiral in independence. The same study found that 40% of seniors who experienced a serious fall never returned to their previous activity level. To maximize the benefits of improving this area, start by practicing the balance hold twice daily for whatever duration you can manage. Even 5 seconds counts as a starting point. There's no shame in starting small because every second you add builds crucial neural pathways. As you hold the position, focus on keeping your hip level rather than letting it drop to one side. This engages the crucial gluteus medius muscle that stabilizes your pelvis during walking. You might notice your ankle wobbling at first. That's completely normal and actually a good sign that your stabilizer muscles are working. Progress by trying the balance with eyes closed once you can easily manage 30 seconds with eyes open. The closed eye version forces your proprioceptive system to work harder, building neural pathways that prevent falls in real-world situations where you're not always looking down at your feet. Your proprioceptive system is basically your body's internal GPS that tells your brain where your limbs are in space. Now let's move to something that tests your muscle endurance. Number 4. The sit-to-stand repetition test. Find a sturdy chair without arms that places your thighs parallel to the floor when seated. Cross your arms over your chest. Now stand up and sit back down as many times as you can in 30 seconds while maintaining good form. According to research from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, healthy adults in their 60s should be able to complete at least 12 repetitions. Those who scored below 8 repetitions showed markers of sarcopenia, which is the technical term for age-related muscle loss that affects mobility and independence. The study followed 800 participants for 5 years and discovered that every repetition below the 12 benchmark correlated with a 7% increase in difficulty performing daily activities like grocery shopping or climbing into a car. Think about how many times you stand up and sit down in a normal day. Getting out of bed, sitting on the toilet, getting in and out of chairs, getting in and out of your car. This movement is fundamental to independent living. Your quadriceps and glutes do the heavy lifting during this movement, but your core muscles also work to stabilize your spine throughout each repetition. This multi-muscle coordination is exactly what you need for navigating real life. When researchers analyzed the movement patterns of high scorers versus low scorers, they found something interesting. Low scorers tended to lean forward excessively and push off with their hands, even when instructed not to. This compensation pattern indicated weakness in the posterior chain, particularly the glutes and hamstrings. To prepare for improving your score, start by slowing down the movement. Take 3 seconds to stand up and 3 seconds to lower back down. This tempo builds strength more effectively than rushing through repetitions. The slow eccentric phase, when you're lowering down, actually creates more muscle damage in a good way, which triggers stronger muscle rebuilding. Place a cushion on the chair if you need to start from a slightly higher position, then gradually remove cushions as you get stronger. For maximum benefits, perform 3 sets of 10 repetitions every other day. The rest days matter because muscle building actually happens during recovery, not during the exercise itself. Your muscles need time to repair and come back stronger. Add a light resistance band around your thighs just above your knees once body weight becomes manageable. This forces your hip abductors to engage, preventing the knee collapse pattern that many seniors develop. Let's check something that reveals your power output next. Number 3. The Step-Up Power Assessment. Find a stable step or sturdy box about 8 inches high. Step up with your right foot, driving through your heel to bring your left foot up to meet it. Step back down and repeat for 15 repetitions, then switch legs. The key detail here is how you're stepping up. Research from the American Journal of Physical Medicine found that seniors who pushed off their back leg instead of lifting with their front leg had 40% weaker quadriceps muscles. This matters because pushing off the back leg is a compensation strategy that masks true leg weakness. When testing 600 participants aged 65 to 80, those who couldn't complete 15 proper repetitions per leg without holding onto support had significantly reduced walking speed and increased fatigue during daily activities. Walking speed matters more than you might realize. A comprehensive analysis of 9 studies involving over 34,000 seniors found that walking speed predicted survival better than blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar levels. Every 0.1 meter per second decrease in walking speed correlated with a 12% increased mortality risk. That means if your walking speed drops by just half a meter per second, your mortality risk increases by 60%. Your step-up ability directly influences walking speed because it measures unilateral leg strength, meaning each leg working independently rather than together. In real life, walking is a series of single leg movements. You're never standing on both feet at the same time when you walk. To maximize improvement, focus on the eccentric portion of the movement when you step back down. Lower yourself slowly over 3 seconds rather than dropping quickly. This controlled lowering builds tremendous strength in your quadriceps and protects your knees from impact. Many people feel soreness in their muscles the day after focusing on slow eccentric movements. That's a sign the exercise is working. Start with a lower step if needed, even using a thick book or a single stair. Progression comes from increasing height gradually rather than rushing into a standard 8-inch step before you're ready. Perform 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions per leg 3 times weekly for optimal results. Make sure you're actually driving through your front heel and not cheating by pushing off the back leg. Here's where things get more challenging but incredibly revealing. Number 2. The timed stair climb evaluation. Find a standard staircase with at least 10 steps. Using the handrail if needed for safety, climb the stairs at a comfortable but purposeful pace. Time yourself from the first step to the top. Harvard Medical School researchers conducted a fascinating study with 13,000 participants who performed this exact test. They found that adults over 60 who took longer than 15 seconds to climb a single flight of stairs had double the risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who completed it in under 12 seconds. But here's what really caught the medical community's attention. The same participants underwent expensive cardiac stress testing, and the simple stair climbing time predicted outcomes just as accurately as the complex medical procedure. That means a free test you can do at home works just as well as a test that costs thousands of dollars and requires specialized equipment. Your cardiovascular system and leg muscles work in tandem during stair climbing. Your heart pumps oxygenated blood to your working muscles, and those muscles extract and utilize that oxygen efficiently if they're well conditioned. When either system is compromised, your stair climbing time suffers. A study in Circulation Journal tracked 5,000 adults for 8 years and found that every additional second needed to climb stairs correlated with a 3% increased mortality risk. Think about that. If you take 20 seconds instead of 12 seconds to climb stairs, that's 8 extra seconds, which translates to a 24% increased mortality risk. To prepare for improving this metric, start by climbing stairs more regularly throughout your day. If you live in a multi-story home, take extra trips up and down, even when not necessary. Begin with just 3 to 5 steps if a full flight feels too challenging. Rest at the top for 30 seconds, then descend slowly and repeat. The descent is just as important as the climb because it builds eccentric strength in your quadriceps. Work up to completing 3 rounds of stair climbing sessions 3 times per week. For maximum benefits, vary your approach. Try climbing every other step once your base fitness improves. This larger range of motion recruits your glutes more intensely and builds power alongside endurance. Always prioritize form over speed initially. Plant your entire foot on each step rather than staying on your toes, which engages your full leg musculature properly. And now for the most predictive test of all. Number 1. The sitting rising test. This is the gold standard for assessing leg strength, flexibility, balance, and overall functional fitness. Sit down on the floor cross-legged without using your hands, furniture, or any support. Then stand back up without using your hands or any support. Each time you use your hand, forearm, knee, or side of your leg for support, subtract 1 point from a score of 10. A perfect score means you went down and came up using only your legs and core with no assistance whatsoever. Brazilian physician Dr. Claudio Guilherme developed this test and published groundbreaking research in the European Journal of Cardiovascular Prevention. His team studied 2,002 adults aged 51 to 80 for over 6 years. The results were stunning. Those who scored 0 to 3 points had a 500% higher risk of mortality compared to those who scored 8 to 10 points. That's 5 times higher risk from one simple test. Even participants who scored in the middle range of 4 to 7 points had 300% higher mortality risk. For every point improvement in score, mortality risk decreased by 21%. The test reveals so much because it requires multiple physical qualities simultaneously. You need hip flexibility to fold into a seated position. You need ankle mobility to maintain balance. You need core strength to control your descent. And you need serious leg power plus coordination to rise back up. It's basically testing your entire kinetic chain in one movement. A follow-up study with 1,500 participants confirmed these findings and added that the test predicted functional independence in daily living better than standard medical assessments. To prepare for improving your score, break the movement into components if you currently score low. Practice squatting down to a low stool or cushion, focusing on keeping your weight in your heels. Work on hip flexibility with butterfly stretches where you sit with the soles of your feet together and gently press your knees toward the floor. Hold this stretch for 30 seconds twice daily to gradually improve your hip mobility. Strengthen your legs with the previous exercises we covered, as they all contribute to this ultimate test. For maximum benefits, practice the full movement 3 times per week. Start by using one hand for support and gradually reduce assistance as you get stronger. Film yourself performing the test so you can objectively track which support points you're using. Many people don't realize they're touching down with a knee or forearm until they watch the video. The visual feedback is incredibly valuable for improvement. So there you have it. 5 comprehensive checks that reveal exactly where your leg strength stands and what that means for your health span and longevity. The science is crystal clear. Your legs are the foundation of independent living as you age. Every single one of these tests can be improved with consistent practice regardless of your starting point. Remember, it's never about being perfect. It's about being better than you were last month. The participants in these studies who improved their scores over time saw their risk factors decrease accordingly. You're never too old to get stronger. If you found this information valuable and want to stay independent and strong as you age, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our evidence-based health content. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.